we're at the top of the hour, so we might as
Yeah.
well just really get started. Anne, it's good to see you. This is like kind of a reunion of sorts. Okay. Well, what we usually do in these global hub conversations that we wind up having is really go around the bend here, so to speak, and ask people to introduce themselves in two ways. One is verbally by sharing a little bit of what's happening in the world of compassion with them, but also putting your name in the chat and where you're from. And then that would allow people who are sparked by something that you've said, who could then really kind of get in touch with you through the Zoom here. And you might be able to exchange email addresses or whatever you might want to do. So I'll just start. And my name is Marilyn Turkovich, and I'm the executive director of the Charter for Compassion. Have been involved with the charter since 2014. And I am in, obviously, maybe by my accent, and you will recognize I'm from the States, but I think I probably have kind of a neutral accent. I live in the Pacific Northwest, but spent most of my life in Chicago, and I don't have the these, them, and those that's part of Chicago accent. But I'm and live on the peninsula in the state of Washington and take a ferry over to the mainland, and I can go north to Canada, to Vancouver, or south to Seattle. So I'm in a unique area of the world. It's quite beautiful. So Dominic, can I call on you first? If you could just turn on your mic.
Sorry about that. Yes, it's on now. Yes, my name is Dominic Conterno. I'm also not from the UK. I'm French, but I'm living in Northampton, and I'm one of the co-founders of Conscious Enterprises Network, which is focused very much on the peace. And I think this was originally what linked us to your organization.
Great. Dominic, could you put the name of your organization in chat, and maybe
It is.
oh, it is in chat?
Yeah, it's the
maybe
first one. He was very obedient.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't have my chat on, so no.
Conscious Enterprises.
Okay, Conscious
Enterprises
Enterprises.
Network, yes.
You know what? I didn't have it on, so therefore it is not even in my chat. So maybe if you wouldn't mind putting it on for those of us who came on after you, maybe, because we don't have it. Not everyone has it. So great. Thank you. Wendy.
Hi, so lovely to see everybody. I'm in Cheltenham in the UK, but my work is global. I work globally on a number of projects, all of which are focused on kind of systemic flourishing. So, and really understanding well-being as an ecosystemic issue. And of course, compassion is fundamental to that. So I also have, I was quite involved with the charter a few years ago. I've been less so because I've been off doing all sorts of other things. But I'm very interested in all sorts of aspects of this. How do you optimize flourishing from the earliest years? How do we, I've got a researcher working with me who's looking at compassionate practice of early years teachers and teachers. That's kind of what compassion looks like in the environment and that impacts children. So I have a multitude of different things that I'm working on, and I thought I'd come in and kind of catch up with what's going on in the UK, because one of the things I'm advising is the Wellbeing Economy. I've been on the Global Council of the Wellbeing Economy Alliance for 3 years, and we're just establishing the English hub. There is a Welsh and a Scottish and an Irish hub. So then we'll have 4 hubs. So I'm very interested in how we can look at the UK as a whole. Yeah.
So I'm thinking, Wendy, that it's probably time that we had a separate conversation, because one of the goals for the charter, we have a 3-phase plan. And the third is going to be launched in January of next year, which is an institute, a Compassionate Institute of Transformation.
Yep.
And we're starting the journey by initiating a podcast series starting next month on Substack. So love to talk with you about that. And then the other thing, and maybe we'll talk about this a little bit, is our relationship with Emory University. And while we do not have a marked, I think, initiation yet with C-Learning, certainly Emory University does, which is working with young children from the age now of kindergarten on up with social, emotional, and ethical learning and that whole program. And I just came back from a week at Emory University, and they have 15 years of research.
Yeah, very happy to
Yeah,
engage.
so
I'll also say, Marilyn, I'll put a link in, but I'm working with Laura. Laura's coming onto the steering board
right.
for Global Healing Day, and I'll
Right.
put the link in.
Yeah,
And the first one will take place next year, and it's a huge opportunity. It's going to be a
Yeah.
global collaboration.
I should, you know what, I can forward, because she wrote me, and then I put a bunch of things that the charter could do to help with
Yeah,
that.
so I've stuck the link in.
Okay, great. Okay, Heather.
Hello everyone and welcome from Portsmouth, UK. Of course, we're on the UK chat. Sorry, I'm fighting off a cold at the moment, so I'm a little bit fuggy in the brain. However, all is well at Compassionately Portsmouth. We are being used by local agencies to help and bring acts of kindness in Portsmouth. Always struggling with trying to recruit volunteers, but that is, I think, a national, most probably a global problem, as people who had free time now find that they have to get paid work. However, our recruiting system on the social media has started now to bring forth fruit, and we're interviewing people with the most probably once a week to try and get them on board and join the team. Also very busy with Compassionate UK, which is an absolute blessing, and it's creating a lot of energy for me and a lot of encouragement. And I'm very pleased that the pro-social lab work that some of us, well, Mary Catherine and I, along with 3 others, are undertaking, has been very enlightening, very encouraging, and we're halfway through, and it's helping us come together as a group of people.
Great.
So yeah, 3 wonderful coaches. So yeah, there we are. So do I invite somebody else to
You could do that, but before you do that, well, the person
Yes.
next to you, I've just been kind of following the line here, and so is Merida. But I wanted to say, if you go to the homepage of the charter, you're going to see 2 under resources. You'll see 2 books. One of them is Charter Ambassadors. So that means it was a gift to us from Compassionate Sacramento, who's kind of documented their success with volunteers.
Yeah.
And so there might be some really great ideas there. And then the second book that they gifted us is how to get some local money to help with what you're doing. So you'll find them, I think, both of those really pretty good.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Merida.
Oh, hi. I've seen most of you around. So, Merida McCarthy, Program Coordinator at the Charter for Compassion. And I'm based in Mexico, but I was born in the UK. So this chat has a special place in my heart. And my connection went unstable, but sorry about that.
That's okay. So
Mhm.
Carolyn,
Hi, Marilyn. Hello, everybody. Thank you. I'm here more to listen than to speak, I think. I'm not quite as active as most of you are. I got involved in this through the Peace Game, which many of you I also know are involved with. And having played the Peace Game 3 times now, I'm still encouraging people locally to join that. I was quite involved with organising for the Peace Day this year in Cheltenham, the International Day of Peace, which was in this year a collaboration between Interfaith and the council. And I'm very much trying to encourage Cheltenham Borough Council to sign the charter. One of the councillors has played the Peace Game, so she's familiar with that process, which is great. The former mayor knows about the charter. And I think the main thing to say about me is that I'm a networker, so I kind of, keep my eye on various things and then tell lots of other people about what's going on. So I think that's why I'm here today.
okay, great, Carolyn.
Thank you.
And thank you again for the wonderful link that you sent me of James Garrison.
Oh, Jim, yeah, great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was really excellent.
good.
And
Yeah.
Merida, are you aware that Anne's asking for some info, a link to the Peace Game? So we can get that in chat for you, Anne. Andy,
Hi folks, it's lovely to be here. So Andy Spragg from Taunton, Somerset. I run a Buddhist-based business. My involvement with the charter started, it's getting 7 or 8 years ago now.
yeah.
So we got the Taunton Town Council signing the charter. We've had Glastonbury sign the charter, and I'm currently working with Bridgewater to sign the charter. And with Heather and Princess, I'm one of the directors for the newly established Compassionate UK, which is going very well. Just had a board meeting, lots of updates, which we can tell you about later.
Okay, great. Well, tell us right after we're finished. So let's not forget that about the updates because they can fall through the cracks easily. Okay, Mary Catherine.
Hello, I'm Mary Catherine Burgess. I'm in Edinburgh, Scotland, and let me see. I even though I'm not on the board for this Compassionate UK, I'm kind of part of the team, and so I do participate in the meetings, and as Heather said, part of the pro-social group. We're halfway through that, and that's a good experience. So that part's good. I want to share, I just in the last week or so discovered that there's going to be a Global Compassion and Empathy Initiative event in Edinburgh on the 2nd of December.
Okay,
Um, so that's through the university.
okay, great.
And so it's in person. I don't think you can do it online. And unfortunately, I probably am going to be in the United States facilitating a workshop at that point, so I won't be able to be here, but we'll see. At any rate, so that is at least that's something encouraging in Edinburgh that the university is coming together a little bit. Now,
Mhm.
I just found out about it, but I haven't been included in the process, so I just learned about it. So I'm sharing that and have passed that information out today too with when we had the earlier meeting. Otherwise, I'm involved in another compassion group in the United States, the Boundless Compassion Group, and I'd been in the CIT. I'm still waiting to see about this Emory deal in terms of whether, as a CIT facilitator, compassion, integrity, and training, I can get into that or not, and whether it's a good fit for me, I don't know. But anyway, we shall see. So step by step, I'm
Okay.
just glad to be here.
I might, after having spent a week at Emory, might have some more answers for you.
Okay.
But we might have to take that offline. But
Fine.
there's a person on this call who is in the next row. And so it seems likely that I should go to her because she's also in Scotland, Lydia. And so maybe she's asked you if you have a link to the event. And
Sure.
so if you could share that. But Lydia, why don't you go next? And certainly, Lydia, think about how you might involve this group in your project. And turn on your mic. Your mic's not on, or you're having problem?
Okay,
There
how
you
about
go.
now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said I found the event and I put it inside the message chat thing that we have, and I will sign up for it imminently. Hi, Lydia. I'm in Glasgow. I'm another American in Scotland, and I am the co-founder of the AI Compassion Coach. So it's a chatbot that gives you compassion, and it's something that I came up with in this Scottish incubator program, and I found a technical co-founder right here in Glasgow, and we have it on WhatsApp. Our goal is to get it into hospitals and within the healthcare industry for patients and healthcare staff alike. And so I participate in the kitchen table that relates to health in the Charter of Compassion. So I'm there every month.
Good.
If you're there, I'll see you there. I will pause there. Is that okay? Marilyn, do I need to say
Well,
anything more?
is there a way that people on this call can get involved with the app?
Well, I mean, we are currently trying to get a pilot off the ground. So we are looking for organizations who would like to pilot the Compassion Coach as an organization, particularly in healthcare. So if there's anyone who can help out with that, that would be greatly appreciated.
Okay, great. Lorna.
Wendy said she might be able to
I
help.
might.
Yeah, she might. I'm quite certain she could. And I have a sneaky feeling that a few other people on this call could do the same. So, but they can contact you directly. And maybe you want to put your email address in there for that purpose. Lorna.
Hello.
Okay.
I really don't have a lot to offer, I'm afraid. I'm a retired person and I joined the charter. I signed up to the charter after having read the Karen Armstrong book, 12 Steps to Compassionate Life, in a reading, in an online reading group during lockdown, which was organized through our church. But I just feel that compassion is so much needed in every walk of life now, and anything we can do to facilitate that and encourage that is just so important. I live in Oxford, and I mean, there are quite a lot of interesting things going on in Oxford. We had, we have an interfaith walk between the synagogue and some of the churches and some of the mosques on a summer evening every year. We had a lovely, what we call Pilgrimage for the Planet last Sunday, I think it was, which was very ecumenical and was very good. I just sort of do what I can. I mean, as I say, I'm a retired person. I'm a carer. I don't have an official, organization that I belong to or anything like that. But I just feel we need compassion in every walk of life at the moment.
Great. So I'm wondering, Mary Catherine, if you might connect Lorna with Princess and with Magdalena, because they're also in Oxford. So you have two others who are very involved with compassion in the community.
Yes. So I think Andy and Heather and I, all three, can make sure that happens.
Okay, great. Thank you. And Anne, I also saw that Tam signed up for coming today, and she's not here, but I was really excited to see that.
Yeah, I mean, just quickly, I mean, that is my connection was this is going back several years now, to say the least. I used to run a small charity community center in East London, and I got to know Tam through that. Because she came in, she did some work with us there, and she's now a very dear friend of mine. And I was hoping she was going to be here as well because I hadn't seen her in a bit. But so I work for the National Unitarian Movement, the church movement, and I'm the social action officer. So I'm also interested to see what's going on in Oxford, because we have a congregation there that's trying to do a lot of social action, and so it'd be great for them to connect with anybody doing compassion work there. And in general, I'm just kind of here listening to just see. I'd love to be able to pass on anything relevant to our community.
Okay, great. You know, I don't know if you know this, but I think that I'm correct, that the first church as an organization that signed the Charter for Compassion were the UK Unitarians.
It probably was, yeah.
Okay, great. Now, Andy, back to you for all of those things that you said are happening that we need to know about.
Well, we're setting up the Compassionate UK. We now have the company in place because we needed a legal entity in the UK. So we have Compassionate UK CIC. We have a bank account, which is good. We've launched a crowdfunder and we've raised £1,000 so far. That's going to go towards basically setting up training and contacting out. We're in the process of setting up the website. It's not there yet. The draft is there. It looks very nice. Our developer Thomas is beavering away in the background. We've started drafting various letters and things like that we're going to use to approach partner organizations, because we feel it's important not just to talk about how we need their help, but actually what help we can give them, reciprocal. That's the process we're doing at the moment. Yes, I can. I can certainly share the link to the crowdfunder. So in Taunton itself, at the moment, I'm working on interfaith. So I ran an interfaith session with the Bishop of Bath and Wells and the Imam from the Bath Islamic Centre about a month ago. That was really successful. It was a great event. 150 people from all faiths came, and we asked these two titans of spirituality, can you be both a theologian and a scientist? And they each talked for 20 minutes, and they were great. They were brilliant. And then we had questions from the audience, which was lovely. But our next challenge now is to really bind the faiths. And what we're playing around with is the idea of giving them a little project. So in Taunton, we've got a challenge with homelessness. So we're going to pull the faiths together in the meeting, along with the two key homeless charities, plus some homeless people, and identify 2 or 3 small projects that essentially interfaiths can work together on to make compassionate change. Because we feel it's one thing having a nice evening, you know, having interesting discussions, but when you get people working together, then you get a real breakdown of any issues between them. So we want Muslim, Sikh, Christian, Jewish working together on these projects. So on Sunday, I'm going to the mosque open day with the Lord Lieutenant of Somerset, and we're going to meet with members of the mosque, hopefully persuade them to come on board. So yeah, busy times actually, lots going on.
You know, I want to share 2 different things with you, with the whole group, but especially with the UK hub now. And that is that there are a number of cities who have signed the Charter for Compassion or have a compassion initiative in the UK. And they have fallen through the cracks, and they need to be re-energized. And so I think that we need to have a joint letter from the International Charter along with yours, but, you know, kind of a turnover of, you know, inviting these people to become a part of Compassionate UK. That would be number one. Then the second part of that is also all of the partner organizations that come from the UK, and how to really alert them to the very fact that there now is a charitable Compassionate UK. And so another invitation from you all to them. Then the third thing that you probably don't know about, because very few people do, but for the last 2 or 3 months, I've been having regular meetings with URI, the United Religions Initiative. And that, as you well know, or maybe you don't know, is probably the largest interfaith organization in the world. They have 1,200 what they call cooperation circles, and they're in like 125 countries, and I know they're certainly in the UK. What we signed a memo of understanding with them a number of years ago, and we're revisiting that memo of understanding, and we're doing a big launch in November for both the Charter for Compassion members and the URI members, to see how is it that we could really intersect with one another. We have a program which I'm going to tell you about that they're going to be participating in as soon as possible. We're going to be doing a lot of shared events together. And so in effect, as we, you know, build the stronger collaboration, which is something that we're doing with other organizations as well. So some of you have talked about ProSocial, and we've worked hard to introduce ProSocial to the Charter for Compassion world. We have a new alignment with an organization called Alignment, which is another interfaith organization, by the way. It is, you know, part of it is based in Scotland. So there's a lot of movement of really trying to, you know, instead of work in silos, to really work across and build as many bridges as we possibly can. So we need to make certain that you get addresses, but that, you know, well, I think the best thing to do is that we send a joint letter to all of these different groups. But the last thing I'm thinking about is that one of our first partners, besides the Unitarians in the UK, was Initiatives for Change. And so, you know, I think that we need to really establish that link as well, because they're so prominent, not only in the UK, but in so many of the other areas in which the charter is flourishing, like Australia and India in particular. So
I think that's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant, Marilyn. I should say the one thing we're waiting for is the website.
Yeah.
I think it's only a few weeks away, but all these organizations that we reach out to, the first thing they're going to ask is, what's your website? So we need to get that set up. But yeah, absolutely brilliant.
I just want to ask a question, and because I'm curious. In the United States, there is a new platform for probably the last year or so called Substack. Is it popular at all in the UK?
Yeah, it's very popular.
Very.
Okay, because we started 3 months ago, I think, a Substack. It has been remarkable because we have not made a real big announcement to the charter people around the world. We just thought that we would practice on Substack. And the thing that is so interesting is that we're creating our own Substack community. And the thing that is interesting is that the majority of people who are a part or have become a part of our Substack, we gravitate between 65 and 92% opens of our material, which just blows my mind.
What is Substack? I've never.
Substack is it is
like Medium.
It's
yeah,
a micro publishing platform. Yeah.
yeah, it's not like Facebook or anything where you
No.
just do little tiny, I mean, here on Substack, you really do substantive articles and
change agents,
exchanges.
really.
Yeah. And then, like, for example, people can pick you up on Substack who are also on Substack, and then you do cross-pollination. And that has been really interesting. I don't know if people know Parker Palmer, who has written quite extensively, and he does a lot of promotion or cross-pollination with the charter, and we have a lot of people coming over from him to us. And so, do take a look at it. But I was thinking that, if it's popular, that what we could do is certainly to do a joint article about Compassionate UK. Wendy, go ahead.
And I just want to say just one word warning. I'm a fan of Substack, apart from their pledge system, which you can very easily, because of the way they've set it up, find that you're suddenly being charged annually a subscription for someone who you just went to have a look at. And I think it's very naughty of them, really. So there's almost a default setting. And so both I and another person suddenly discovered that we had amounts going out of our credit card to things where we just went to have a look. So that's the only thing I would caution on, because I do like Substack and I've got one of my own, but you've got to watch.
Yeah, it's interesting because we've never set up the exchange yet, because you can automatically pledge, I think, when you go to a
and
place.
It's there. I've just looked at yours and it's there immediately.
Yeah, it is. And
Even
we
if
never
you don't,
we didn't set it up, and we do
I think
have
it's naughty of
pledges.
them.
Yeah, we have pledges from people, but because we haven't set it up, there's no way that people can give us money at this point. But it's quite interesting,
No,
that,
it's on there. It's on your Substack.
yeah, no, I know. It's just one of the features, but unless, I don't know how it happens in terms of like somebody getting your credit card unless you put it in somehow. But who knows? But do give it a look. I wanted to share some things that I think would be significant to, for the work that you're all doing, and at the same time allow you some freedom so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Because one of the things that we have at the charter is, first of all, don't show that again. And okay. Is almost, as you know, an awful lot of what we do is free. And the idea behind the work that we do is to offer anything that we do to especially our partners and our compassionate communities. And so this is kind of an update. When you go to the Charter's homepage, which I hope you do, because you can just go to the homepage and use that as a roadmap. And so when you come, you'll see that our primary events are at the top, and then we have things divided up. So coursework, global reads, chats like we're having right now, resource material, and you can just click right from the homepage so that you don't have to, get lost and go on forever and try and find what you're looking for. But under our new courses, we have been gifted by Eckhart Tolle and his wife, Kim Eng, and a course called Embodied Presence. It's free, primarily designed for youth. However, I'm encouraging people of all ages to take advantage of it. It's self-paced, a self-directed course, and he's quite he's an interesting kind of guy to listen to. So there's a lot of videos attached to it and very little writing. And so that's available as of just a month ago. So you might want to take advantage of that. The other thing that we do, as you probably know, is that each month, and sometimes twice a month, we have a global read, and that's our opportunity to bring interesting books to your attention, but also bringing the authors of those books to a webinar platform, so that the author oftentimes has a good amount of time, 20, 25 minutes or so, to talk about the book, and then to interface with a facilitator, and then open for questions. And we have these, as I said, every month. And if, again, you go to the homepage, you'll see global reads, and you'll, in fact, they're all listed until the end of this year. And so this particular one, that everything is a story, is really interesting, because this is by an indigenous woman from the Potawatomi tribe, that's geographically between Canada and the United States, and bringing stories to life, but putting them into action and into healing as part of that action is the next global read that we have. By the way, all of our global reads for years now have been archived. And so we're also taking advantage of some of these things and getting them to Substack, so that we increase the audience, hopefully, by doing that. Okay, this is the big one. The cognitive-based compassion training. We have vetted this for, I don't know, close on a year now. This is a program that is 15 years old, well researched. It comes out of Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia. The financing of this particular program has been given by the Dalai Lama. And he is very, very involved, as well as his foundation, in propagating cognitive-based compassion training. Some people here had exposure to compassion integrity training, which is somewhat similar, but not totally the same as, and let's call it CBCT. And one of the things is that almost, I would say, half of our board of directors have taken CBCT. And it was somewhat deliberate to have them see part of what we're doing. And one of the things that they are committed to doing and is raising money so that we can build cadres of trainers globally. And so we want to have, like, let's say, at least in 1 year's time, 3 to 5 people from the UK, 3 to 5 people from Australia, from South Africa, from Mexico, who are on the road of being totally CBCT trainers, so that eventually this course could make its way regionally, locally, so that it doesn't always have to be online, or it could be a hybrid of online and in person. And so one of the things is that our board of directors is committed to helping make this come true. And that means that first, we are asking for a upfront amount of money from people to show that they're committed to being a part of this journey. And it is a journey. This is not an easy certification process. The first step is to go through this 10-week program. And it's a combination of neuroscience and meditation, and really understanding how it is that your emotions affect your actions, and how is it that your compassion can become positive action. After experiencing this 10 weeks, you can sit back. You don't have to move on quickly, but you can consider, do you want to invest your time into going further along the journey? And it is a journey. And like, for example, this October, starting next Wednesday, we are on, it's not only, you know, the dates vary because there's 4 distinct classes that are being offered. One of the classes is in Spanish. Merida is one of the instructors on that class. But so there's 4 distinct courses, and so they'll be from October until December. There still is some availability, I think, for the for 2 of the classes. And one, I think both of the times are conducive to the UK. So you might want to go to the front page of the charter, look under courses, and look for cognitive-based compassion training. You'll see an outline of every one of the 10 weeks so that you know what's happening there. But then if you decide that, geez, you know, I really like this material, I want to be committed to perhaps teaching it, then the next step is a retreat. It's about 36 to 38 hours over a 4-day period. It's virtual because this is very much a global kind of thing. And so it's like 8 hours a day for those 4 days, and some days a little longer, some days a little less. So that's the next step. And then you can kind of reflect again. Do I want to continue? Because that retreat is a total overview again of the course, but at a much deeper level in terms of the significance of really doing informal and formal practices. And then if you decide, geez, I'm ready to make the next step. The next step is an intensive look at the content as well as the informal and other practices. And that's another 10-week commitment. And then after that, then you do your practicum. It's a supervised practicum. And then after that, you have another couple years, actually, 2 years is what is required of doing supervised training. And then you would get to the certification level where you would actually be able to train trainers. So that's kind of the journey that you would take. This is an expensive, well, besides time, it's an expensive process. But the charter, as I said, is willing to help fit the bill. That's BILL. Because it's upwards of $7,500 to train a person through CBCT. And so we now have, I think we have 5 people who are have received the ability to just train on their own. We don't have anyone at this time who is able to train trainers because, as I said, there's this 2-year obligation of teaching before. But we also have 12 people who took the course this summer, well, from spring through the summer. And so those people, I being one of them, are now teaching, are starting to teach this October under supervision. So long process, but we are offering scholarships and full and partial scholarships. So it's a huge commitment from our board in making this happen. So if you're interested, please go to the homepage and click on and learn more.
I just want to add there that the Friday mornings is a very nice time for the UK. And I'm going to be facilitating that with Anum. And I would really, really like to have all of you and accompany you through this process.
Great. Thank you, Merida.
And I see that Lydia's already registered, so thank you so much.
Great. Okay, so now our Global Youth Conference, tiny bit of background, and that is that about 2.5 years ago, the board of directors of the charter decided that it was time that we took a big step, and that was to say that at least 25% of our board should be under the age of 35. We achieved that quite quickly. And then the second part of it was that we would hire a global youth strategist, and that is Anum Mula, who is in India. By the way, our staff is India, Chile, Mexico, US, and then formerly Netherlands. So we have a number of languages covered, and we certainly have geographic territory covered. But this global youth conference we had last year, we had upwards of 500 people who participated in the conference. We're hoping for a much bigger group this year. It's 3 days long. It's online in a unique platform that allows us to record everything and make it available for 1 full year. I would say 90% of all of the panels, presentations, workshops, and keynotes are by young people under the age of 35. These also, this whole conference, besides Anum, taking a good amount of her time, is that she has built a network of youth organizations around the world, but also an advisory youth group who has really helped with this conference. The third day of the conference is with Kids Rights, that's based in the Netherlands, and Kids Rights is an alternative, a youth prize piece that is given to young people. It's been around for 25 years. It was the first to recognize Malala and Greta Thunberg and others over that 25-year history. It's very serious. Young people who are awarded their prize receive $100,000. $50,000 should be given to an organization that they help develop. And then also another part of the prize is that they get a free education. And another part of that is that if they have siblings, there's a commitment for all siblings in that family to also receive education. So it's really quite an honor. And so they'll be helping to make the offerings on that third day. So if you know youth groups, but also not only youth groups coming, but you yourself coming and just listening to the work that's being done. Last year, for example, we had a keynote presentation from a refugee camp by a Rohingya who was based on the border of Myanmar. So there's really unique presentations. So take advantage. Now, here's the biggie. On November 12th, we are unveiling Charter for Compassion 2.0. We've been working on this for 9 months. It's been online. Perhaps some of you here have been involved in sending in your comments for, what the Charter 2.0 should entail. I think it's brilliant. It's as it says here, a charter for compassionate transformation from planetary inner healing to planetary flourishing. And we will have a 1-hour presentation. Sue Cooper, who oftentimes is here at this meeting, we asked her to help coordinate this effort, and she's done an extraordinary job bringing together groups of people and sharing things, taking all the comments from people who sent things in online. And we're going to have a little bit of history. I had a meeting this morning with Karen Armstrong's nephew in terms of working through. Karen's not doing very well physically, so we were trying to figure out exactly how we might get remarks from her, and he might be the one delivering them for the launch. She already has the new charter, and in addition to the new charter, we will also have available a 70-page booklet on how to really put into action Charter 2.0, and that's been edited, and it'll be on the website very soon. So that's a big date. And by the way, November 12th, 2009 was the day that the Charter for Compassion was launched at the United Nations and the Washington Press Club. So it's an important date for us. And then this is our big fundraiser. And, you know, we can't be shy about the fact that we never really, I mean, we do ask for money, but we don't make a big deal of it, nor do we ever stop anyone from coming to a global read or taking a course or anything like that. But we do have to eventually think about how is it that we can move forward and remain stable. And so for the last 7 years, this is our 8th year of coming together to give out the Karen Armstrong Humanitarian Awards. And so we have 4 extraordinary people that we will be giving the award to. Last year was a really significant year. At our 7th annual gathering, we did it in person in Monterrey, Mexico, at the Permanent Secretariat of the Peace Laureates Summit. And it was at that summit that we moved forward, and we now have a memo of understanding with the Permanent Secretariat. We work very closely with them in producing programming for youth and getting involved in, like, the next summit, for example, which will be, or at least it is projected that it will be in the late spring at the Vatican next year. So it's pretty close for all of you. And so you might want to start saving your pennies, and our board is starting to help us, because we want to do a lot of, well, we will do a lot of programming at the summit. We were responsible for the youth gathering at the summit last year and with facilitation. And so, you know, we're just trying to figure out what our next steps are for that. But do come. It's a 90-minute program. We'll also be featuring some of our new Charter for Compassion musical ambassadors. So it will be a really, I think, excellent program. So November 15th. And then I think my last slide here is something that I think I might have already mentioned, is that in 2026, we will be launching the new Charter Institute for Transformation, Compassionate Transformation, which is really an effort to really help bring new skills to all of our Charter members, but especially to our compassionate initiatives and partners around the world. And so this is part of the launch. So we will have a 2-day conference regarding democracy and global action. So that's a little bit of what we're up to at the Charter.
When is that 2-day conference you're talking about on the Institute for Transformation?
It was the end of
January.
Yeah, of January.
End of January. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, any questions, or we don't have that much time?
I would like to invite Andy, if possible, because Andy mentioned that they just had a board meeting and there were things to share. If there is still some time, but if there's any questions about the Charter, obviously that goes as well. Thank you.
Yes, so in terms of our board meeting, I think I covered it all actually, Merida.
Okay.
Yeah, because it is about just establishing the framework at the moment so that we can push things out. So it's the website and the financials. Yeah, that's where we are today.
You know, one of the things is that, I mean, all of this programming is for everyone who's a part of the Charter, but especially for, you know, Charter communities such as those that are involved in the UK. But the other thing that I haven't spoken about, but is related to a lot of what you just saw, is that, you know, the charter moved ahead over, gosh, the last year and a half in taking our original sectors and bringing them into pillars. And so that we are operating under 7 pillars, so that education is certainly one of the most robust of our pillars, and then certainly healthcare. And we have meetings, and justice and integrity is another pillar, environment, obviously. And so we're trying to build the not only a structure for each of those pillars, but like, you know, Heather was saying, in terms of the value of really putting compassion into action, means that you really need a lot of volunteers. And so, you know, if any of you are interested in being involved in any one of those pillars, we would really welcome it. And so each of the pillars has a kind of a program or sponsors, you know, certain aspects. Like we have a pillar on spirituality, and they're the group that really pays attention to the week-long celebration that's endorsed by the UN, but started by the King of Jordan on World Interfaith Harmony Week. So we produce a week-long program on a theme. And Lydia is a part of what we call the Kitchen Chat. I don't know where that came from, but Kitchen Chat are people in healthcare, doctors, first responders, people in palliative care, public policy in regard to healthcare. We come together one time a month, the first Friday of every month. And this is the one group that doesn't have an agenda. We just come and people share, and it always works out. And you know, we learn from one another. So if you are at all interested in you know, being involved not only locally or regionally, like with this hub, but if you'd like to be involved in one of those pillars, we would love to have you. And again, go to the homepage up at the very top, what we do, and it says we're in pillars. And you can, you know, just take a look at each of those pillars and see how you might want to be involved. And it's so wonderful to have people from all over the world who are involved in these pillars.
And also, we understand that everybody's really busy, but you can also share this to your communities, to your friends. You might think of somebody, you might not be able to take the CBCT, but somebody else in your community might be able to take it. So please share all this around and invite your friends, families, partners. And we look forward to seeing you 6 weeks time, approximately.
Yeah. And we have 2 minutes, and I just wanted to share, you know, the new look of the website, which we hope will make life really easy for you when you come to the charter. So we still have the rotating piece up there, but you know, here's the upcoming 4 major events, all of the courses that we're offering, the global reads, the EdNet forum, the webinars, the global chats, the projects, and the resources. We also, in resourcing, we have recommended podcasts that relate to compassion and to the Charter for Compassion. But when I said, you know, up here, use this as your chapter heading almost, you know, what we do, we work in pillars, and there are the 7 pillars, and you can go to any one of those pillars and learn about the work of the pillar. So hopefully it's an easy navigation for you if you have an interest in a particular pillar.
We should probably mention the Global Sangha as well.
Yes, thank you. It is listed there on the homepage as well.
That comes up the last Saturday in the month, and Merida and I run it. And this month I'm doing a piece on and talks on human emotion and how complex it can be and how we can manage it, basically.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you all so much for everything that you're doing and for coming and sharing today. So as Merida indicated, we'll see you in 5 weeks or so. Take care.
Thank you, Marilyn. Lovely.
Very much.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so
Go
much.
well.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Be well.
Bye.